Welcome, welcome everybody to day 2 of the Rock the Stage Challenge. I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath and let yourself land here. I'm going to invite you to remember how much you have to give. Today is all about positioning your virtual client attracting talk. We've got over 14,000 of you registered for this training from countries all over the world. I think we have at least 38 countries registered for this training. Can you just imagine, take a breath and imagine the women across the globe holding hands, rising up, bringing their incredible gifts. We've got women from New Zealand, Canada, Australia, Asia, Japan. We've got women from West Virginia, New Zealand. We got Ireland in the house. We got Costa Rica in the house. A waving carpet of love of women. Hello, Linda Walk. Hello, Coach Dev Sarup. All right. We are going to start the music. Grab a cup of tea and we'll get started in just a moment. Nice deep breath, everybody. Reach your arms up overhead. All right, we're gonna hop in Sage Levine as co-host, and we will get us ready for an awesome day 2. Oh yeah, y'all, it is on, game on. I hope you have your workbooks ready because we mean business today. Your clients are out there waiting for you. Your participants are out there waiting for you. Your message is needed. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2 of the Rock Your Stage Challenge. I'm going to invite you to reach your arms up overhead. Take a deep breath and let yourself land fully here, whether you're watching the replay, whether you are here live. I'm going to invite you to let go of anything that happened before this moment so you can be fully present, ready to receive the wisdom about supporting your business, your speaking career, your dreams, your message, and your client attracting talk today, day 2 of 7 days. My team prepared a short 30-second video to welcome you properly into this incredible community. We're going to play that for you now. Grab your workbook because we're going to be diving in when we get back. Hello, 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 everyone. Can we give some love to my team for being here, starting the stream, getting us live on Facebook? We have just incredible women backing us up. We had just a couple of technical glitches this morning, but raise your hand if you know you will prevail even amidst the technical glitches. Raise your hand if you would much rather see imperfect action than it going perfect every time. So I just want to say to every single one of you, your message is needed. How many of you are here? You made the choice to be here in this container this week, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live. You made the choice to be here because there is something tapping you on the shoulder. It's niggling at you. Maybe you've already started doing it and you know you could be reaching more people. And how many of you are aware and you feel the imbalances of the world, the environmental changes we're going through, the homelessness, the disparity, the lack of consciousness, the ways that we can still be so disrespectful to human beings on this planet? Raise your hand if you are here because you want to be a part of the solution. You want to build a business that creates great money and awesome freedom, but also contributes to the overall good and sustainability of our planet. Raise your hand if that's true for you. I want to just welcome and thank and congratulate every single one of you for prioritizing this experience, because there's never been a better time to be a transformational speaker. As the world is transforming, transformational speakers and transformational entrepreneurs are needed now more than ever. And I am so excited to get you the tools today to rock your talk, because your business as a speaker really starts with your talk. You need a talk that gets the attention of your ideal clients so that you can make money, make an impact, and all the things. I'm going to invite you to click in the upper right-hand corner and click on gallery mode so you can see a bunch of women at once. And I'm going to invite you to turn your video camera on. And if you see some powerhouse women on this screen that you would love to learn from, they clearly have something amazing to give. Just put your hands out and just sparkle your fingers a little bit for us, and just notice how that feels to feel the screen sparkling back at you. And if you're aware that energy is real and that we can absolutely create energy over the virtual waves, keep sparkling those fingers and sparkle one more time and just give a little nod if you see some women in the Facebook group and on this screen that inspire you. And if you want to send love into the women in this community, reminding them that they are the ones we've been waiting for, click on that unmute button and give us a big wahoo to let us know you're here. Click on unmute. It is so good.
Yes.
So good to see you, feel you. We have over 14,000 women signed up from 38 different countries all over the world. We are making history. Pop a yes in the chat if you're inspired just by these women here. And raise your hand if you made a video in the past 12 hours and you surprised yourself. Raise your hand if you made your first live video. Who here did your very first live video? Oh my gosh, Cornelia, Monica. Oh my gosh, Emily. Oh my gosh, Nancy. Oh my gosh, well done for those of you, any of you watching the replay or here live that made your first live video. I want to assure you that that is a skill that will come in handy as you build your business. When I published when I got my book published with Hay House, I had my dear friend, Reed Tracy, who's the CEO of Hay House, say to me, run, don't walk toward live video. If you want your business to be a bestseller, you got to run, not walk toward live videos, because live videos are where so many of our authors are getting the most traction. So raise your hand if you can see the benefit of going live, of learning how to do all the things. Y'all are amazing. Your videos astounded my team. Like, by the time I get it open, not believe. I know, me too. I know. All of you have something you want to add to this conversation, but we could not believe the volume. Raise your hand if you're with me on this. The volume of inspirational videos. Y'all are blowing me away. I can't believe it. I'm so excited to continue to support you to get launched. What are we doing this week? Let's pop up the slide. What we're doing this week. If you missed yesterday's training, you'll want to go back and get some of the tips to clarify your magnetic message as a speaker. Today, we're helping you position your client attracting talk. Tomorrow, we're going to support you to create videos that go viral. On Friday, we're going to support you to speak in a way that really enrolls clients. On Saturday, we're going to help you start creating your hot offer. On Sunday, we're talking about getting booked as a keynote. On Monday, we're going to teach you how to fill virtual events. This is such a comprehensive and amazing training. I would recommend you not miss a day. And one of the things that I know can happen as we step into this conversation, as we train you in how to start positioning your talk today, is we can have stuff come up. Raise your hand if you feel any level of fear when you think about really creating a talk that you market big time and get more people at. And any butterflies in your stomach going on? I see probably about 50% of the hands going up. And raise your hand if you just really love speaking. You're excited. You're inspired. Okay, I see like the other 50% of the hands going up. And raise your hand if you feel both nervous and excited. Those two emotions are really intertwined, aren't they? You know, about 12 years ago now, I was invited by one of my good friends to attend kind of my first event where there were a lot of speakers speaking back to back. It was called Women, Purpose, and Power. And of course, none of us could afford to go to the event. So there were 5 of us, and we all piled into one hotel room, right? Back in the days where you put 5 people in one hotel room. And we drove down to LA in my friend's car that was, 10 years old. We had to stop to get maintenance along the way. And we make it to this event, and I'm so excited. And I sit in the room. Of course, I run to the very front row. Raise your hand if you can relate. You're like, I want to be in the front row. I sit in the front row, and I literally just couldn't believe it throughout the day. Every single speaker that took the stage blew me away. I got to hear Janet Atwood speak. I got to hear Lisa Nichols speak. I got to hear Dr. Sue Morter speak. I got to hear Marsha Weeder speak. I got to hear Dr. Jean Houston speak. And I was so elated. I don't know if I had ever experienced that kind of inspiration in my life, to see all these powerful women telling their stories and being vulnerable on stage. Raise your hand if you can relate to this. Like something like an event, a transformational event, just rocks your world and just changes you fundamentally. I see a lot of hands going up. Something happened at the afternoon break, and some energy came into me and started saying, they're all so shiny and amazing, but you are different. You can't do it like they're doing it. You're a school teacher. You come from a long line of school teachers. And by the way, you're $35,000 in debt living in a motorhome. You can't do what they're doing. So this energy crept in and was like completely hijacking my bliss. Raise your hand if you can relate to this. And right after that, this horrible, horrible migraine set in. And I ended up completely in pain, curled over in the hotel room. And I thought I was going to have to go to the emergency room because the migraine was that bad. I was nauseous. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, like a migraine that just gets so intense, you don't even know what to do. Luckily, one of the women that was sharing my room with me was a body worker, and she came to check on me. And when I told her what was going on, she said, "You were doing great after lunch. You were like high as a kite." And she looked at me and she's like, "Do you think that you might have some kind of a restriction happening in your body because you just saw a glimpse of your future?" And I let in what she was saying. And I started sobbing, you guys. And I sobbed and I sobbed and I sobbed. And I think I probably cried and sobbed for like 20 minutes. Like I couldn't stop. I was grieving all the ways that I had held myself back. Raise your hand if you can relate to this. And then I went and I drank like 3 Nalgene bottles full of water and green powder. And I got back in the game and I went back to that event. And the next day, I put myself in a contest to win a seat to have lunch with the speakers, and I won. And I went into that lunchroom with those speakers and I asked them if I could interview them on my upcoming telesummit that I was inventing in the moment. And many of them said yes. And that was the Women on Purpose event that went to have 5,000 women register. And that was something that put me on the map. And it was something that taught me all the skills that I'm going to be teaching you today. And what I realized that day was that I can't always trust my body breakdown. I can't always trust my resistance because there's something bigger happening here. And just like that was true for me, I want to put a stake in the ground that that's true for you too, that there's no accident that you're here, that your bodies oftentimes need to clear energy so that you can become the leaders and speakers that you're meant to be. Raise your hand if you have felt energy or emotion since yesterday or since signing up for this course or maybe other courses like it. Raise your hand if you've maybe needed to grieve or move some energy or go outside or breathe or have a jam session with a friend. I want to put a stake in the ground for every single one of you to keep moving the energy, because if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be a speaker to the degree that I know is possible for you, I know it's possible for you because I didn't think it was possible for me. I was like a hard no, like this is not possible for me. I'm a school teacher. I don't have this skill set. I don't know the technology. How am I going to figure all this stuff out? I'm not really meant to be doing what they're doing. They're more shiny than I am. I'm a little more raw than they are. I'm definitely offended by how many offers are being made from stage. I have major resistance coming up, but it was because I have this more school teacher, anti-salesy approach that my clients started finding me. And that's going to be true for you too. All of the things that you think are in the way. I'm too old. I'm too young. I have an accent. Whatever story you have, that's going to be one of your superpowers, because my clients tell me that it's my girl next door approach that resonates with them. Pop a yes in the chat if you would be willing to let the thing that you think is in the way be the way. The thing that you think is in the way, what if it was the way? And what if you were the perfect person, the perfect age, the perfect size, the perfect nationality to bring the message that you're here to bring? And that's what I get so excited about. I see the yeses flying through the screen. So click on gallery mode one more time in the upper right-hand corner. Sparkle fingers for the women who are saying yes, even though the resistance is going to come up, even though the fear is going to come up. Y'all are amazing. You blow me away. You are the future of women speakers. And I know this because I've seen this every single year. I took the talk that I developed as a result of that Women on Purpose event, and I have now woven that talk into my Rock Sales Retreat. I've done that Rock Sales Retreat about 12 or 13 times. And y'all, for the last 10 times I've hosted my Rock Sales Retreat, it's been a 7-figure revenue event, 10 events in a row, making $1 million at each event. Pop a yes in the chat if you would love to make more money than you ever thought possible with the talk that you start developing and working on today. And we've been able to raise over $1 million for philanthropic causes. So I get so excited about these speaking tools. Now, just a couple quick logistical things. If you have not joined us on Zoom and you're watching on Facebook and you want to join us on Zoom, we'll pop up the slide with the link. It's womenrockingbusiness.com/Zoom. I also want to invite you to grab your workbook if you haven't already. Your workbook is in the guides section of your Facebook group. And in that guide section, we are also posting all these replays. I want to invite you to take a breath into this opportunity that we have to be here together, because the energy of speaking is a very unique energy. All of the energy, when you step into the spotlight, all of that energy is on you. It's physiologically a fascinating phenomenon. I'm going to invite you to take a breath and pop a yes into the chat if you'd be willing to continue to learn to sit in that energy being all on you, even if it's uncomfortable, and you're doing that for the sake of your audience. You're not doing it for you, you're doing it for them. Can you feel the energy? Can you feel the energy shift? It's not about you, it's about them. And when you watched the videos that came into the Facebook group last night, you probably noticed that the women who really made their video about their audience were even a next level of magnetizing, right? To not make it about you, to make it about them. But regardless of how your video went, regardless of how imperfect you think it is, regardless of whether you're looking back at your video going, oh my God, it was sideways, it was upside down, they couldn't hear the sound for the first 10 seconds, who cares? Raise your hand if you'd be willing to just give yourself credit for doing it. This is what it means to get into action. Raise your hand up overhead high and turn your hand around and give yourself a pat on the back if you can reach back there, because you deserve to feel amazing at your willingness and your courage to step into getting visible here in this group where you're among colleagues. Raise your hand if you were a little more nervous to do this video for this group of colleagues than you might have been to make a video for your ideal audience, right? I see a lot of people nodding. But the thing about you stepping in to this skill of getting visible and speaking is that this is the skill that's going to help you make the biggest impact. And when you think about it, speaking is the highest paid skill as well. It's the highest paid skill. And as you get more confident on camera, you are going to be stepping into that willingness to make an incredible impact, but to also say yes to your income. Think about it for a moment. Some of the most highest paid humans on the planet are speakers, right? They're politicians, they're actors, they're actresses, they're motivational speakers, right? You deserve to get paid well for this skill. And we've been talking about the compass. We've been talking about the elemental wheel. We've been talking about seeing business through the lens of universal principles. We're more likely to embrace business principles as women when we realize that these business building principles, they're reflected in nature. We need visionaries. We need people to see the vision that they have for us. We need people to motivate us. We need people to tell us the truth. We need people to love us. And that's you. That's the gift that you're bringing to the world. Deborah, we'll pop up the universal speaking tools, because how many of you do find your connection, your spiritual connection in nature? Vision quests and nature immersions are a big part of my spiritual practice. So as we teach these business principles through this lens, I just want to put a stake in the ground that we open ourselves up to the ancestors whose shoulders we're standing on, the elders, the lineage. I've had the honor of studying with Lakota elders and medicine men and medicine women. And I've learned that the 4 directions really do align with the elements. And of course, depending on which tribe you study with, the map's a little different. Some of us learned the 5 elements of Chinese medicine, but in this universal elemental wheel, East aligns with the element of air. And I want to remind you to always make your vision bigger than your to-do list, and to keep your vision close at hand when you're putting your speaking gigs together, your talks together. The element of fire exists in the South in this model. And we're reminded that action is alchemizing, right? That we have to be willing to take action to really bring our dreams to fruition. We also are reminded that the element of water lives in the West, and money is like water. If you're taking notes, write this down. Making money is your spiritual birthright. Making money as a emissary. Making money is your spiritual birthright. And then the direction of north is the element of earth. And earth is all about structure. And I just want to remind you that we don't rise to the levels of our goals and our visions if we don't have structures underneath us. In fact, it's been said that we can't rise to the levels of our goals because we end up falling down to the level of our structures. And that's why I want to get you these structures today to support you to start putting your talk together, to start thinking about how to position your talk. And I have somebody here who I've been speaking alongside for the past few years. This is a woman who just inspires me so much. Some of you have met her, some of you haven't. She's gotten to be a dear, dear, dear friend, and she's been supporting thought leaders through our community to support them to bring these universal principles into their business success. Erica Neely, come on down to the stage.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hey, y'all. Can you find me, Deborah? Here I am.
There
At Spotlight.
Hi, Erica.
Hello,
Give
everyone.
Erica some love in the chat.
Whoop, whoop. I just have to say, I'm so incredibly inspired by all that you are bringing. And the vulnerability of this group is just blowing my heart wide open. And so I just had to say that before I get started. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. The world needs you now more than ever. And I just have to say, it's such an honor to share this stage with you, Sage. And what's true, it was 5 years ago at a leadership workshop that I met my wife, Megan, and my whole life changed.
At one of our workshops, who knew?
Yes,
we were going to get to have a couple that was born out of Women Rocking Business. Oh, wait, no, it was a different workshop, but then you guys came to the next workshop together.
Exactly. So we were in the field of transformation and leadership, and then she invited me to Sage's event, and that's where I met Sage for the first time and this community, and I completely fell in love with this way of doing business, with this way of showing up in the world, and my life again change and change and change again. And I actually started using these very tools that you are learning today to create my own business with my wife, Megan. And we held retreats supporting LGBTQ plus couples. And we had a sold out retreat in Hawaii right before COVID happened. And it was incredibly amazing. And the amazing thing about these tools is that I was able to take everything that I was doing in person and transition it in line. And then through COVID, we held multiple programs supporting couples from all over the world using these tools. And I'm curious, how many of you want to support people all over the world with your message, right? That's the amazing thing about being able to leverage the virtual stage, right? We can be in person, we can be online.
Yesterday too.
It's so incredible.
Oh, Erica, let me make sure you get yourself unmuted. I just wanted to clean up the line.
Thank you so much, Sage.
It is so incredible. Yay! Keep going. I love hearing this.
Yeah. And through that, I actually was offered a position here. And now I get to work with women. I'm a co-trainer. I coach over 100 women to make thousands of dollars in their businesses. And I am such a huge stand for this new paradigm that's coming through. And I believe it's through us. We truly are anchoring in this new paradigm. How many of you can feel that here? Just like Sage was saying, there's so much happening in the world, but right here, we are standing for what's possible. Right here, we are standing for a new paradigm of transformation, of yes. Yes. So thank you again. I'm so honored to be here today. And I want to talk about you. And I want to talk about courage. So, Deborah, if you could put up that slide about courage. I love this quote. Really take this in, okay? Courage is rightly esteemed the highest quality because it is the quality that generates all others. And I just want to say that I have seen so much courage in your videos. We were just talking about this morning. I had several meetings with the team, and literally you have us in tears. And I want you to know, for those of the folks who still haven't made a video, that there's still time. And I'm curious, how many of you feel like you are having a breakthrough around courage? Type a yes in the chat. That maybe we're inviting you into stretching your comfort zone and taking action in places where you haven't yet done that before. So I'm feeling that. So this is my invitation for you for today and the next 5 days, to keep leaning into courage, to keep stretching your comfort zones and see what kind of magic you can create. And Deborah, could you go ahead and let's start talking about your talk, because this is how you're going to really start changing the world. Okay. So first thing first, when you're designing your talks, is you want to start with the end in mind. This is really important, okay? You want to be clear about, what are you selling? What do you want to offer? Think about the action that you want people to take as a result of attending your talk, because you want to give them value and work with them more, right? You don't want to just entertain them. You really want to get them into action. So think about that. Start with the end in mind. And now it's time for you to get out those workbooks, y'all.
All right, y'all. So grab your workbook, because this is the official tip number 1, if you haven't already. And Erica, just thank you for that, because I so agree, right? We don't want to just give a talk that entertains. We want to be designing our talk with the opportunity to work with people long-term in mind. I'll just say one more thing about that, you guys, because let's just be honest. You can only change somebody's life to a certain degree in a talk, in 40 minutes or 60 minutes or 90 minutes or 2 hours. You can make an impact, but raise your hand if you know that working more long-term with a mentor, whether it's a 3-day immersion, or whether it's 30 days, or whether it's 6 weeks or 9 weeks or 6 months or a year, raise your hand if you know that's when the real change begins. That's when the real rubber hits the road, right? Raise your hand if you would love to have clients that stay with you, maybe even for more than a year. We have clients here in the Women Rocking Business community that have been with us 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. Some of them are calling themselves lifers. And it's because they're getting the kind of results where it's like, why would they want to go anywhere else, right? Like they love having that support system. And I want to put a stake in the ground that you can be that mentor for a handful of clients as well over the years. What an awesome opportunity to get to watch people grow through the years. So let's go back through the first tip to really rocking your client attracting talk and positioning it. Just like Erica said, you're going to want to consider your big takeaway and your offer. So those are the clues to fill in your workbook, your big takeaway and your offer. To think about, what is your intention? What is your intention for them? What will they take away? And what do they need to know? This is key. This is a really important question. Erica and I are both going to be talking more about this. What do people need to know to feel confident making an investment, right? We actually want to talk about this question because this question is a game changer. Erica, wouldn't you agree?
Oh yes, 100%. So go ahead, let's put up that side. As you can see, what do people need to feel confident to invest, right? At the core, sales is relationship, right? So you want to build that trust. You want someone to feel safe in order to invest in you, right? And this is the difference between a talk that entertains versus a talk that enrolls, just like we were talking about, right? So as you're putting your talk together, you're going to want to ask yourself, what do people need to feel in order to feel confident to invest, right? They need to feel safe to take the next step and know that what you're offering them can impact and will have an impact on their lives. So, for example, I can affect my love life, I can affect my health, I can affect my business, right? You want them to feel empowered that they can actually make change. And one of your jobs is to help people believe that they can affect the area of the life that you're speaking about. And I know that's what you're all here. Raise your hands, pop a yes in your hat in the chat if you want to help people feel personally empowered, right? To make that change, to believe that they can do it, right? So this is so important. Think about what you could say to instill confidence in your participants and share stories of people who have changed their lives, because this is really what's going to help people understand that this is possible. And I'd love for you to read this amazing quote by Maya Angelou Sage, because this is so, love it.
This is so good, right? Because in addition to helping people feel safe to invest, confident to invest, sharing client stories, you can also do exercises. You can lead exercises. You can lead reflection exercises. You can give them little assignments like you see us doing to help them feel empowered, right? Because people will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did. But Maya Angelou has always reminded us that people will never forget how you made them feel. So how do we do that? How do we create that feeling that you can feel here while you're with us? Some of us talked in an after party that we did yesterday about this group energy field that you can feel when everybody's connected. Ina was talking about how communication that creates connection is the most valuable communication. You can feel it when a group starts to feel connected to each other and connected to a bigger vision. I actually believe it's our responsibility to help people get connected to each other, because so many of us live in so much isolation. Pop a yes in the chat if you're with me, if you're picking up what I'm laying down, that as women, we inherently know how to connect. We become stewards of relational intelligence. And with technology and AI on the rise, the price tag that we can put on relational connection and feeling emotional intelligence, the price tag is going to go up and up and up. And so if you're somebody who inherently knows how to do that, or you want to learn how to do that, or that's important to you, that's one of your values, you know that's something you can bring to your clients moving forward, that connection, that love, you're in a really good spot, because the world needs it now more than ever. With robots on the rise, it's going to be more and more and more valuable. So let's continue to talk about how to create that feeling. And I also want to take a moment and talk about how to actually get people in the door so that you can create that feeling. Nice deep breath, everybody. The second tip to rocking your client attracting talk is to pick a magnetic title. You want to pick a title. This is even more important than your mission statement passing the face test. It's essential that your title passes the face test, that we have a referral come to mind when you share what the title is of your talk, that your title is short and simple, that it's 12-year-old language, that it can penetrate through the noise online. You can also make your results tangible in your title by bringing in numbers, words, phrases. I just want to be honest for a minute. When people are online, and I say this with total love, nobody get offended, they're actually not looking for you online, most of them, right? They're not actually online to look for you. I say that with love. They're usually online to do something else. So you have to create what's called a pattern interrupt. Write that down. You're creating a pattern interrupt with your titles, very simple headlines, very simple images. People are literally online, and part of what they want to do is preserve brain calories. Who here can relate? You get online and you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to get too distracted on here, right? So you need to grab their attention quickly. Erica, you want to share some of these examples?
100%. I would love to. So just let this sink in and think about what is it that you could create using these hot tips that we just went through. Okay. The first one is 3 steps to reclaim your hormonal health. Do you see how clear that is? And it's only 3 steps, right? That's not a lot of brain calories. And that seems like incredible results, right? The second one is 3 myths of natural weight loss, right? So powerful. The third one is 5 pillars of a stress-free life. Who doesn't want that, right? In 5 pillars, stress-free life, so hot. And the last one is attention parents. Less tantrums, more joy. And I can say as a parent, I love this idea, more joy in the house, 100%. And now I want to give you all an opportunity to start brainstorming and think about what could be a hot title for a talk that you want to create. And this is your opportunity to really dream into what you want to bring forth.
Pop it in the chat. I see Rochelle just put in 3 steps to home ownership. That's
Boom.
Awesome, Rochelle. 3 steps
Super clear.
It could be 3 steps to buying a home, buying your first home. That would be hot too. Stephanie Unger. Oh yeah, Stephanie, love you. I know. Dev Sarup's amazing. Catherine Knight says, caring for a loved one with dementia, 3 steps to your Zen zone. I love that, Catherine, because we wouldn't know what Zen zone means if you hadn't led with caring for a loved one with dementia. And Catherine Knight, something else you can think about is that not everybody is going to know what Zen zone means in relation to a parent caring for a loved one with dementia. So you might want to, Catherine, include that Zen zone metaphor in your teaching, but keep it out of your title, because the less words, the better. I talked yesterday about how the most successful ebook of all time was called Stop Divorce Now. 3 words, right? So that's how simple we want to be with these titles. Erica, any others you want to?
I really love this one, 5 steps to reignite your marriage, 4 keys to healing gun violence trauma. These are all super clear. And I love what you said around, you don't want people to have to think too much, right? So if you're using words that maybe only a few people may know, you want to save that for copy. But when you're leading, you want to lead with something that's super crystal clear. Okay. So these are great. You're amazing here.
I love that, you guys. And I know some of you don't want to sound like everybody else. I've had people, I've had some of you and coached some of you around. I don't know that I want to put a number in my title. And I'm not saying you have to, but here's what happens. What happens is it makes it more concise. It quantifies what they're going to take away. There's a little bit of credibility that comes in as soon as you say like the 3 steps or the 5 pillars or the 4 secrets. I wouldn't go more than 5, because like 5 things is a lot to teach in an hour or so, and you don't want to give too much. You want to make sure you get into your offer, ideally by the top of the hour. But these are fantastic. So I want to keep talking a little bit, and I just want to say to y'all, these titles are amazing. We need you out there taking these events for test drives if you haven't already. It would be my honor to show you how to fill these events. Definitely be with us all the way through these 7 days. And we are opening doors on a program where we can actually help you launch your event and guarantee that you have incredible people there, train a wing woman to help you run the event. How many of you would like to have an Erica or a Nicole? Super excited for that. So I want to talk for a moment around not just your content and not just your title, but this aspect of your talk that elicits the feelings of your participants. Notice I'm not using the word audience as much as I'm using the word participants. Have you guys noticed that? Rather than thinking about your people as your audience, I want to invite you to think about them as your participants. What we've seen is that people don't just want a transaction in this space, they want a transformation. For those of you that are taking notes, I'll say that one more time. People don't just want a transaction, they want a transformation. And so when you can bring in the energy of that transformation, that feeling energy, you're going to rock it. So we'll pop up this slide because when you're putting a life-changing talk together that also is going to end up being lucrative, because you can absolutely create that incredible win-win when you change lives and then you get to make great money doing it, right? Context matters 10 times more than content. Context matters 10 times more than content. So in order to really get this point across to you, it's so important. As many of you know, one of the primary goals that we have at Women Rocking Business is to give you great life-changing information, but to create a life-changing transformation. And I've been studying this for more than a decade. My team actually put a video together to show you what we really mean by this, rather than me just trying to tell you. So let's play that short video and we'll be back with you in a few minutes, but definitely stay tuned because this is going to help. The secret to growing a speaking-based business, both online and live, is to dial in your client-attracting talk. And the secret to dialing in your talk is to learn how to set the context for learning and not just the content. In fact, you might have heard me say this already, but I'm going to say it again because it's so important. Context matters 10 times more than content. Some people are saying that content is like a dime a dozen these days. Like my mom says, if you want the answer to any question, you can just Google it up. But what do I mean when I say setting the context on a talk or a webinar? What I mean is that people are craving not just content, but they're craving experiences. They're craving connection. Rather than feeling anonymous behind the computer, the trick here to creating events and virtual events where people can truly connect with each other is to help them form real relationships. There's a trend in the speaking industry, both online and offline, and on the internet with digital marketing. People are craving experiences. They don't just want to be filled up with a lot of information and content. In fact, there's a saying that when you have people engage and you build real relationships with them, that it creates connection that equals currency. Connection really is currency. And in those relationships with potential clients, you get to establish trust. And people buy from people they trust. My client, Vanessa Callahan, is a great example of this. She's been individualizing her marketing and taking her teaching to the next level. Vanessa is a mentor to parents, but in her marketing and free trainings, she's committed to not just mentoring parents, but to helping them learn how to raise resilient kids and to get connected with other parents. She knows that with the modern day stresses of life, it's common for parents to struggle and to fall into disempowering patterns with our children. And when Vanessa creates communities of parents, not only is she able to support these parents, but the parents can support each other, and the result is phenomenal. When the world shut down, Vanessa was all set up for her next launch, but she actually landed in the hospital with an unexpected surgery that required her to put her business on pause and cancel everything for over a month, including 5 online events that she was counting on to fill her program. Despite this major health setback, Vanessa came back stronger than ever. She rescheduled all her online events so she could share the key strategies and use the engagement tools with hundreds of parents and families who really needed her support. She not only filled her program, but she created a 6-figure revenue year, and more importantly, fulfilled her mission to empower parents and heal families around the world so that parents everywhere can raise resilient children at a time when the world needs strong young people now more than ever. You can learn more about Vanessa at vanessacallahan.com.
I'd left a really comfortable classroom environment where I'd been teaching for a decade, wanting to make bigger change. And so I thought if I could reach more people through speaking and share out the knowledge I had, I could have a bigger impact. When I saw that there was this really clear step-by-step roadmap that Sage Levine and her coaches had laid out for me, I got really excited about the possibility of actually having financial freedom and building a viable business from speaking. After just a few months, I was able to book 8 signature talks to 8 different audiences. And from those 8 signature talks, I found my 10 first full-paying clients that decided to work with me for 6 months. And I was able to generate $30,000 of revenue just in those few months, right as I was finishing up the program. And it made me realize that this is something I can really do and that this could be my new life.
So you can see when it comes to filling online events, considering the context for your marketing and not just the content gives you a huge advantage. It's an effective strategy for creating community. And while you're speaking, it's so important to remember to ask people to post, ask them to interact with you, and ask them to comment on each other's comments. This is a super effective strategy to really intentionally build community and get people connected. Thousands of our clients have used these context creating tools to grow their communities, to take the stage, to host online events and video trainings, to grow their online movements and enroll their clients.
Taking the stage has blown up my business. In the last year, I put on 3 events, one that made $200,000, another one that made $200,000, and another one that made $250,000 all in 1 year. I'm so excited about what I learned from Women Rocking Business because now I love being on the stage. It's exciting, and now I know that I can make a bigger impact in the world.
Once I got visible and I realized that I can speak and lead and get more visible, I made my first $2,000 in my business. And then I really quickly made my first $100,000 in a weekend. And I recently held a 3-day event where I brought in $250,000 in revenue. Now that I'm rocking the stage, I'm rocking my life.
And whether you're a beginner and you're just getting started taking the stage online and live, or maybe you're a little more seasoned and you want to take your speaking career to the next level. Once you create talks that provide great content, but also create amazing context to build community, your potential clients begin to trust you and hire you. And then you can use that same talk online and on masterclasses and on video and on stage for years to come to change lives, make a big difference, and grow your speaking business. Because your clients, they're waiting for you. They're not just waiting for someone like you, they are actually waiting for you. This is so important, right? Because when you see women who started their business from nothing and making hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's possible for you too. It's possible for every single one of us. Let's just review the key points of that video. Erica, will you help us know what to put in our workbook so we can dive back in?
You betcha. So this is tip number 3. So context matters 10 times more than content. So huge. Really remember that. Also, we're going to move down here. So the internet and AI have answers at your fingertips. Don't be afraid to lean into the support that you have. Okay. And the second one here, the third one, Brene Brown says belonging is the biggest driver of human behavior. And I just want to say something that I've seen since this new era post-COVID is that people are so ready for connection. So this is again where the container that you create is so important, right? So create the context, create the community, and create the container. And that's how you're going to make sustained transformation in people's lives.
I love this. So pop it into the chat, you guys. What have you seen us doing, even just in these 2 days that we've been with you? What have you seen us doing to create context? Because we're not live in a room with you, but many of you are reporting in the chat, feeling inspired, feeling connected, feeling uplifted. So what are we doing? And let's actually take a little inventory, because these are things that you can do in your talks. So Elvira says, we're interacting, we're asking for comments. Tia Christensen says, Tia, this is key. It's not just that we're asking you to post in the Facebook group, we're specifically prompting you to comment on each other's posts. Raise your hand if you notice that, you guys. Raise your hand if you felt uplifted by people commenting on your video, right? And this is key, because you can't just do this in any social media kind of engagement format. You've got to be inside of a group to be able to give people a place to post and comment on each other's posts, which is why we teach Facebook groups in our programs. We teach you guys how to launch and really run successful Facebook groups so you can do that well. Because it's not just that we're asking you to post, but now we're asking you to be connected with each other. And now we're not just in 2-way communication, we're in 3-way, 4-way, 5-way, 10-way, 600-way communication. And that's very, very powerful. We create the network. What else do you see in here, Erica? These are great.
Sparkle fingers. Y'all are realizing that. One of my favorites. I love seeing the waves of all the women in the hands. Really just talking about the level of engagement, the safety that they're feeling, the connection that they're feeling, sharing stories, vulnerability I see in here, interacting. And what an amazing space. I'm wondering, for those of you, like, are you feeling that connection? Even though, just like Sage was saying, we're not literally in the same room. Do you feel the web, the thread that is being created in this space, right? It's palpable, it's tangible, and you can do this as well, right? So I would love to, if we could pop up what we wanted to put in the chat.
Many of you have already answered this question, right? Like, what kind of experience are you wanting to create for your ideal client? So you let us know what we've been doing, what resonates with you, right? Which of these strategies resonate with you? What do you see yourself doing? Maybe some of you have already been doing it. I see partner shares. I see community building. I see interaction. I see helping my clients feel worthy. I see creating safe space for vulnerability. These are great.
So beautiful. And I just want to share that because I use these tools to create a talk, it's allowed me to connect, do everything that you're saying, right? It's created a space for deeper conversations. It's given a space where members of a community can actually be centered, right? Where they can take down this armor that maybe they have to wear in other spaces and feel safe. And it's helped me also build my credibility and trust in my community and enroll clients into programs where I get to actually make that sustained transformation. And I'm curious, how many of you want to not only get people empowered, but really make that sustained transformation to help someone see the results in their lives, right? I know that's why you are all here. And this is a great first step to do that, is really getting clear about your talk and what you want to bring forth to these people.
This is so inspiring. I'm just loving the chat. You guys can save the chat by clicking on those 3 dots, by the way. There's just some great information in here in terms of just really creating that context that we all know is going to get more and more and more valuable in today's changing world. In fact, just because I know digital marketing and I stay up on all the different hacks that, I'm in a mastermind with Tony Robbins' business partner and my friend Jeff Walker and Reed Tracy, the CEO of Hay House, and there's a bunch of us in that mastermind that are doing 7, 8, and even 9 figures online. And we're all seeing a decline in pre-recorded webinars and an increase in live webinars. Is that a surprise to you? It's not a surprise to me. And that's why I think live events, whether you're virtual on Zoom, but being there live like we're doing here where we're interacting, right? That's going to be the way of the future. And it's exciting for me because it comes much more naturally for women, I think, to hop on Zoom, even with a few people, than to just try to pre-record something behind your computer. I love teaching women how to do that. That being said, we're super excited to continue to support you. We have CTA number 2 coming up. Who's excited for CTA number 2? Who's playing in all 6 CTAs so that you can enter to win the $22,000 visibility video contest prize, over $22,000 in business training. We're super excited to get you CTA number 2. And then in a few minutes, Erica and I are going to pop over to our after party Zoom line and continue to support you to get even more clear on your message and to get even more clear on your talk titles and how you're positioning those talks. And for those of you that would like to have a chance to join us for the after party, I just wanted to remind you that doors are open to the VIP experience, the Rock Your Message VIP experience. If you haven't already jumped in, you can jump in still today. It's at womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP. And the Rock Your Message experience includes a little bit more AI training. We're going to be getting you direct feedback on your titles, your message, your plans, help you learn bonus hacks to really make a bigger impact. You'll also get lifetime access to all 7 days of these trainings, the recordings. And we're going to get you 2 of my awesome message clarity templates. So just so you guys can see really clearly the 3 components of VIP, you get the magnetic message after parties, which we're going to be jumping over there in about half an hour. You get lifetime access to these 7 days worth of recordings. And then you get those 2 message clarity bonuses. You get a blueprint that helps you really craft your mission statement. And then you'll also get 25 proven marketable mission statements that you can actually use word for word. And those 25 mission statements are mission statements that my clients have actually tested. They work, they're very powerful. So they're very helpful. You know, we have so many clients that have chosen to take that next step with us. Clients like Susan Pierce Thompson, who has a multi-million-dollar company, clients like Mel Larson, who had a dozen high ticket clients jump into her training program right after saying yes to more training with us. And Robin Nielsen, who's built a 7-figure company helping women balance their hormones. We have so many examples of that. But the bottom line is that when you jump into VIP in the next half an hour, you can join us for the after party and get all those bonuses. And one more time, that URL, we'll pop it in the chat, is womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP. Again, that's womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP. It would, of course, be our honor to support you in those after parties a little bit more intimately. I was so touched and uplifted by yesterday's after party. If you got something out of yesterday's after party, maybe just pop it in the chat. It was just such a delight. But I wanted to let you know, for every single one of you, regardless of VIP or not VIP, we do recommend you also sign up for text reminders, because we're going to be back tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And we want to make sure you don't miss a minute. And we plugged one of our favorite gifts, our Dream Business Guidebook, which is really a lot about the mindset and the values that we invite you to bring in to your business growth as you scale your business. It's one of my favorite little freebies I've created. And we plugged that download into the text reminder sequence so that when you sign up for text reminders, you will get a free copy of my Dream Business Guidebook. So jump into VIP and head over and sign up for text reminders at womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP text. We recommend you consider doing both those things. And I wanted to let you know that we have some flash prizes for the sisters who played in CTA number 1. So let's pop up CTA number 1 just to remind you what it is before we give you the call to action number 2. Erica?
All right, everyone. I just want to say, first off, before I announce these winners, that you are all winners. I know there was so many people that this was their very first time going live or making a video. So I want to make sure that you celebrate yourself, because every action that you take is a win. Okay. So, and I also want to let you know that it's not too late if you want to do CTA number 1. So this is what we asked you to do yesterday, is make a 1-minute imperfect live video sharing your magnetic message in the Facebook group. So if you have not yet done that, you can still do that today. And when you do that and you do all of these call to actions, you're going to be invited into a bigger prize. Okay. So this is our flash prize today, but every action you take is going to be leading you towards that bigger prize. Right. And I also want to make sure that you see number 2 right here, is that you give 3 other rock stars real feedback on what's awesome about their video and one thing that could make their message more clear and effective, because I know that's why we're all here. We want to make impact. So this is your challenge if you choose to accept it. And I just have to say, the feedback that I've been seeing in the group is really amazing. And I want to acknowledge all of you for really giving that positive feedback and supporting your sisters, because a lot of folks I know may have never received this kind of support. So this is your opportunity to really feel into what it's like to be in a community that is cheering you on 100%. Okay. Awesome. And with that, oh, Sage, you're muted. Go ahead.
I
Did you
love
want to
it,
say
Erica,
something?
because one of the things that you're really saying is that no matter who we say is the winner right now, we are literally saying that every single one of you has positioned yourself to create even more success and even more impact just by doing a video. And raise your hand if you want to commit to doing a video. Maybe you haven't done a video. Let me go over to gallery mode. Maybe you haven't done a video, but you still want to do one. It's not too late. Raise your hand if that's you. I see Vega. I see Robin. I see Emily. I see Ivelese, Shoshana. Congratulations if you are committing to making a video. You know, we had such a hard time choosing a winner. We actually ended up choosing a runner up. Do you want to play the first few seconds of Madeline's video? Runner up, Madeline, give her some
Hello,
love in the
everyone.
chat.
This is my first day challenge. My mission is to help women to find their voice, to awaken their power of influence, to speak with confidence.
So magnetic.
So good.
compelling.
Yes, can you feel how grounded she is? She supports people with confidence and she is absolutely exuding that. So congratulations, Madeline. You are our runner up. And now it's time for our big flash prize winner. Drum roll, please. Boop, 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 boop. So today, the winner, you're going to receive this incredible tumbler. This is amazing. You could put hot, you could put cold, you can be reminded that you truly are here to rock the world, right? So if we could go ahead and pick our winner, put her up on the stage. Here she is, Rhea KS. If we could just play and just listen in to this amazing clarity that comes through in her video.
Lovely ladies, I support and coach women over 35 with a growth mindset who are looking for a committed, a healthy relationship using NLP techniques and communication tools to find and build the relationship of their dreams, healthy, conscious, and committed.
Did you notice how
ladies?
fast that was? Did you notice how much you can accomplish in less than a minute? Did you notice the rules to the contest were in 1 minute or less? I love you all, but many of you went on way longer than a minute. I just wanted you to see how much you can accomplish in less than a minute. She's so clear. She helps women find connected relationships and build the relationships of their dreams. Anything to add, Erica?
And I would say not just women, she's supporting women 35 and over, right? So right away, that it just brings it down and makes it more clear. And so I really want to take a stand for all of you that you can have this level of clarity and you can have this level of wisdom coming through in just a short amount of time, that you are all absolutely capable of bringing this message through crystal clear in a minute or less, right? How many of you will pop a yes in the chat if you're ready to have that crystal clear clarity coming through in 60 seconds or less? I see that for every single one of you, for all 572 folks here right now, and for all of you watching the replay. I am bringing that clarity energy to you now because the world needs your message.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Who's ready for CTA number 2? I'm super excited for CTA number 2. CTA number 2 is going to take you a lot less time than making the video. It's going to require you, though, to put a little bit of thought into your talk title draft. Notice that just like yesterday, we don't need this to be perfect. Today's assignment is to post your talk title draft in the Rock the Virtual and Live Stage Facebook group. Don't forget to add hashtag CTA number 2. That's going to support you to have your entry found by my team. And then we're going to ask that you give 3 of your fellow sisters face test feedback specifically. Okay, specifically face test feedback. Nice deep breath, everybody. Raise your hand if you could see the value of hearing from a bunch of sisters, whether they would know somebody they could refer to your talk. This CTA is one of the most valuable things we're going to do all week, because you want people saying, yes, your talk passes the face test, the face test contest, the face test for me, right? It passes the face test. Say that 3 times fast, say that 10 times fast. It passes the face test. And I know who I would send, right? Because if you don't pass the face test, if you're not getting face test passing comments on your talk, then good luck getting people there, right? And
I just want to say, because there's a few people that posted in the chat, they weren't sure what you mean. If you could just, and you're just speaking to that right now. When we say passing the face test, it means when I close my eyes, I can see someone, I know exactly who to bring to you. And that's what we mean when we say face test. And I'm also wondering, because I saw a lot of people in the comments, they don't know what a sticker is. So I'm wondering, Sage, if you'd be willing, or Deborah or someone, if we could
I got it.
share.
I got you.
Awesome.
I'm on it. So
yes,
you're going to choose a title for your talk that passes the face test. When you share the title with people, they would know who it's for, who to send, right? We need to be that clear. Let's see. Let me know if this is showing up for you guys. So when you post this as a sticker, all you've got to do is choose one of these blocks of color, pop your title in here. I could say, attention women, 3 keys to clarify your life purpose and make money living it. And I can say hashtag CTA2 right there. Okay. Attention women, 3 keys to clarify your life purpose and make money living it. By the way, this was the very first title of a talk I created. I used it to make probably at least $500,000 over several years' time. And if, by the way, you run out of characters and you don't have enough room to put hashtag, I think it's hashtag CEA2, isn't it? Look at this. I'm being a bad student. Okay. I'm committed to getting you exactly there. You go. Hashtag CTA2. If for some reason I couldn't fit that in, because obviously when you create a color block on Facebook, this is called creating a sticker, you run out of characters. You could also put hashtag CTA2 right here in the comments. Does that make sense? But we are limiting how many characters you have to post your talk title for a reason, because if it's too long, it's not going to stand out online as well as it will when you actually limit the amount of words. Anything to add, Erica?
No, I think that's perfect. Again, it's just bringing that invitation. How can you really distill down your message so it's really potent? Think about that. If you know about essential oils, it's like they take the plant and they run it through that machine and they distill that energy down into just a few drops So think about that, like you're connecting to source or whatever you want to call it. You're bringing in that message and you're distilling it down, and it's going to fit in that sticker block, okay? It's just a few words and it's going to be potent and it's going to pass the face test, meaning I know exactly who I'm going to send your way and I'm going to want exactly what you're offering, okay?
I love it.
You
I love
got
it. I
this.
love it. Remember, our team is going to be looking for women who have posted their talk title and commented and loved up at least 3 of your sisters. And the goal is to say, yes, you passed the face test for me. Yes, I know who to refer. Or you can say, this is great, but I don't know who to send your way. Raise your hand if you would like to get that feedback. If it's unclear and people don't know who to send, you'd rather know than not know. Okay. So again, I'm going to invite you with total love. Don't be getting offended on my watch, because we're here to help you. Raise your hand if you're willing to receive. I eat feedback for breakfast because I'm a leader and I want to change the world. I love it. I love it. I love it. So just a reminder of where we're at in the visibility video contest. We'll just go through a quick reminder of where we're at. The winner is going to be announced on the day 7 masterclass on Monday. The one of you who's participated in all 6 CTAs will be announced on Monday. Yesterday, we asked you to make a 1-minute live video sharing your message and loving up 3 sisters. Today, we're asking you to post your talk title and give your sisters acknowledgements and real feedback. Tomorrow, CTA number 3, and then CTA number 4 and CTA 5 are coming soon, soon, soon. So you can still go back and play in all 5 CTAs. You are not behind. Okay. If you haven't made a video yet, you're not behind. Grace Oben, you can still make that 1-minute live video. And reminder that when you do your CTA number 2, you don't forget to give 3 fellow sisters that face test feedback. Would you tell a friend? Do you know who to send? And for some of you, would you even attend? Raise your hand if you're willing to do this imperfectly. Raise your hand if you're willing to not think about it too much. I love it. I love it. I love it. We are going to invite every single one of you to take a nice deep breath. Raise your hand if you got something out of today that you can bring into your speaking that's going to help you get set up to not just change lives during that talk, but to change lives for years to come. It is so good to see your hands going up, the smiles on your faces. We're going to take a short break. We will be back at 12:30 on the VIP line for those of you that want to join us at the after party. We'll pop that link up one more time in the chat for those of you that want to join VIP and haven't already. womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP. And we are going to dance our way out, reminding you that tomorrow we're going to be teaching you about how to make viral videos, how to stand out with your videos. We're going to bring more AI hacks into the mix. Raise your hand if you are excited for tomorrow. I'm so excited for tomorrow. We got Madeline in the house. Madeline, how does it feel to be a runner-up? How does it feel to be a runner-up?
Thank you so much. Good. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you, everyone. I really appreciate all of you.
Thank you for all the work you've done on
Sarah.
yourself.
For this platform.
Thank you for the work you've done on yourself to be such a strong, articulate stand for women. I'm so touched by your video. You're so welcome. Give Madeline some love in the chat. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Rhea, if you're here, we can bring you up real quick too. Just raise your hand. I don't see you right now. All right, sisters. I'm going to invite you to get excited about tomorrow. We're going to be sharing how to create viral videos, how to be strong on camera, how to engage your audience from the start. And we will be over on that VIP line in about 15 or 20 minutes. Thank you for putting your takeaways in the chat. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to say goodbye to the replayers. Replayers, thank you for watching these replays. We see you. Sometimes it's even more commitment to go back and watch the replays. You're amazing, replayers.
Yeah, replayer.
We're going to end this stream.
Your
and see
clients
you
are waiting for
tomorrow.